Hello everyone, and welcome to another Company Heroes 2 replay cast. My name is ATR, and today we're going to have a 1v1. I don't even need to tell you what map it is. You already know, so. Our heroes today are going to be Logos, playing for the Soviets. And his opponent is going to be Tuty, playing for the Germans. So again, you all know it's from the Sunday Night Fights Season 5 tournament, round of 128. So, let's check our players. Highest ranking player in this matchup would be Logos. His Soviet play is in the 300s, so pretty good. And Tuty is no scrub himself, not that high ranking, but interestingly enough, I mean his German play is ranked in the 700s, but his Soviet play is actually ranked in the 600s. So again, one of those cases where the player chooses to go with his I guess you could say weakest faction. So, I'm not entirely sure what thought process was that or why the decision, but well, that is again what is happening in this situation. So, back to the game. We have build orders, and that is Tuty. You would expect them getting tier 1, get himself a Grenadier, but he's actually getting a MG42 as his second unit. So, interesting choice. We're probably going to see that MG42 run straight to this house, or going to the center. But hopefully we'll actually see Tuty use the MG42, aggressively and more mobile instead of just plopping it in a house. As far as logo goes, well, nothing out of the ordinary. Conscripts, and more conscripts, no tech. He is getting himself his third conscript squad right now. Second conscript squad actually heading into the center of the map. No engagement so far, but we are going to have two units run into each other up north. No, actually the combat engineers decide to turn around and are going to go capture the munitions and the victory point. So this Grenadier squad will not run into them just yet. Conscripts over here going into the center, so we're probably going to run into the MG42. MG42 setting up in this strategic point. Going to cover the center. Very nice angle there. Conscripts are just holding position out there, while these conscripts also hold position here. So a little bit of a passive approach here by Logos. There he goes. He's starting to move. The MG42 packs up and is going to move a little bit further. Probably going to jump into this house then. I don't know. Second Grenadier squad on the field for Tuty. He just moves up and sets up on the wall. We'll start shooting at these conscripts. Conscripts do take a burst, but move out of the range and are just fine. Pios on the south, just capturing territory. And this conscript is actually moving in for a flank. We will see the MG42 jump into the house, and we now have Molotovs already researched for Logos. Logos pops up and throws a Molotov into the house. MG42 has to pack up and exit the house. It is supported by a Grenadier squad, but it's taking a lot of damage to those conscripts. Down to 3 men, sets up to engage the conscripts. The conscripts move through the snow, get out of its arc of fire, and continue to do more damage with a second squad there for support. Molotov landing on the MG42. The Molotov will actually clear out the heavy snow. 2 of the conscripts actually catch fire to that Molotov, quite unfortunately. So this squad should have some friendly kills to its name. Yeah. But the MG42 continues to run away. At this point, probably has to pack up and leave the map. It is getting sieged or surrounded by 2 conscript squads. So very risky maneuver there by Tuty by not retreating instantly. There it goes on the retreat. Should be fine now. It is in the range of the base sector MG, so he'll be okay. Grants in the meantime just taking pot shots at everything they can. Not actually shot themselves, but they are surrounded by 2 conscript squad with the potential to throw Molotovs, so they do have to move around. Molotov goes down, but it does, well, whiff it a little bit. Down south, conscripts capturing territory. The Grant's actually getting themselves an LMG, very quick LMG there for Tuty. Second MG42 on the field again for Tuty, so 2 Grants, 2 LMGs. And this conscript squad will probably die. No, actually barely makes it out alive. A sliver of health left, but he's going to be fine. Back at base, we see Logos getting himself tier 2. We'll see if he's getting anything from tier 2 or just using as a stepping stone. He does not have any fuel yet to build, so one would assume he is going to build something, and that thing would be a mortar. So he's not going to choose a doctrinal mortar. He's apparently going to build his own mortar to start dislodging those MG42s, since he saw that MG42s are in play. So not a bad choice. Not a bad choice. Rifle nade going down on the conscripts in the house, taking a lot of damage, down to 2 men. MG42 moving up over to this house, will also be able to shoot these conscripts as they retreat, but I think they will be fine. The MG42 has to actually set up first, and yeah, they'll make it out just fine. So MG42 is for Tuty on the field, and yeah, that's pretty much what I thought. Mortar going down for Logos, very nice choice there. Another option that you have to try to dislodge and potentially take out MG42s if you see your opponent going for as a German. Soviets can also get, you know, what it was popular earlier is the scout car with a flamethrower engineer in it. Can do very quick work of MG42s. Tier 2 going down for Tuty, so very fast teching on these players, and we see a half-track being the first choice. Half-track will not be getting its flamethrower upgrade anytime soon, considering that Tuty decided to invest in the LMG. MG42 sets up right in front of Logos' base. It is going to get bombarded by this mortar. The mortar is running down the street, setting up in the heavy cover of this bridge. No, actually continues to push forward, so the mortar is actually going to be the one to run into the MG42. So a little bit of a bad positioning there, but conscripts continue to push forward, could get in there to throw a Molotov, and the mortar is in heavy cover, so it's going to be relatively fine against that MG42, at least for a while. And we'll start opening up on them. MG42 will probably refocus its sights on this conscript squad that's moving up on it, and we have this Grenadier squad trying to support with his LMG, but with more conscript squad nearby and mortars landing, that MG42 has to pack up and get out of there soon. Nice Molotov goes in, instantly incinerates one of those Grens, or well, members of the MG42 squad, I gotta say. And the conscripts continue to pursue. More mortar shots landing. LMG Grens garrisoning in the church. Gets some Molotov to the face. Half-track pushing forward. Like I said, it doesn't have enough to get that flamethrower upgrade just yet, so it's not as intimidating as it would have been otherwise. 18-8's getting produced for Logo, so very nice reaction there, and you should be able to get some nades on that half-track. So MG42 setting up out in the open all over the place. The LMG really the only one fighting right now, as the MG42s are not able to shoot at the conscripts. Conscripts move to the other side of the road, take a little burst from the MG42, and then pack up again. And the 18-8s have been researched, and we'll see if they come into play. Mortar a little bit too far back, not able to land good shots at the German infantry. Remember, the standard mortar doesn't actually have the same range as the 120mm mortar, which has incredible range and incredible damage. Just very crappy rate of fire. Scout car getting produced for Tuty, so he is gonna get something out of his tier 2. Conscripts running into the church. They see the MG42 not set up in an angle where they can cover it. Down goes one of the men on that MG42, and the mortar did move up a little bit further up front. But we'll start bombarding this position for the German player. Although the mortar decides that the smartest course of action is to move into the range of fire. Noticing the mistake, he packs up and starts backing off again. So very nice. A little bit of a mistake there by Logos, but not that bad. He didn't really suffer anything on that mortar squad, although it is getting hunted down by that LMG Gren, so they need to continue moving further back. Right-hand side, combat engineers capturing territory. Left-hand side, pioneers capturing territory. And in the center, we see a conscript squad retreating in between all the German infantry. It is going to run straight into that Gren squad, but the Gren squad is getting engaged by the men on the mortar squad, so they will be a little bit distracted. And the conscripts just run straight past them. LMG sets up and takes some shots. May even kill one guy, but they're going to be fine. Medic center not produced for Logos, so those conscripts are actually going to head onto the field injured. And we now see an AT gun getting produced for Logos. Tuty, for his part, decided to cancel the scout car and instead get himself a Panzer Grenadier squad. I have to agree with that choice. The scout car is quite nice and quite useful, especially to harass on the edges of the map. Say like this conscript squad over here. I mean this combat engineer squad over here. But, you know, its main strength is the ability to take down like the Soviet scout cars, or hell, even a T-70 with its autocannon. But yeah, would have been a little bit less useful, and the Panzer Grenadier is great overall, I would say. So AT-1 gun moving into the center. Logos taking it passively for this time. Victory point wise, Tuty is sitting comfortably at 500, while Logos is down to 433. Nothing to worry about at this point of the game, so everything is fine. He does have 1 point in his name, so that means it's only taking 1 point every tick, so you know, it's gonna take a while. So we're in for a long haul in this game. Conscripts pushing to the center of the map. MG42 set up in heavy cover, catching them out on the ice. They're going to get themselves suppressed. AT gun does move up, probably going to be used to throw an artillery burst at the MG42, although it does see the half-track right there. Sets up, going to take a shot at the half-track. Very nice shot, goes down. Half-track down to about 30% health. Can another shot go off? It does, but it misses. Oh, quite unfortunate there for Logos. And the half-track moves out of the sight range. Molotov landing on that MG42, manages to decrew it, so this could be a nice pickup there for Logos. MG42 is currently on fire due to the Molotovs. And we see Panzer Grenadiers pushing forward right on top of the conscripts. The conscripts will get mauled by that MG42 plus the LMG. Down to 3 men, down to 2 men. Nice artillery barrage there by the AT gun, but the conscript squad still falls anyway. Very nice shot there on that Gren squad, down to 2 men, forces the retreat. Ooh, almost actually nails it. And the conscripts continue to get mauled by the Panzer Grenadiers, down to 2 men on the retreat. Can he make it out alive? He looks like he is going to make it out alive. Conscripts set up to defend. Down goes one of those Panzer Grenadiers, but the AT gun and the conscripts are not enough for that one single Panzer Grenadier squad, and they continue to retreat. Down goes one of the men, so what getting the squad? Oh, they're going to run straight into the bundle nade, but the frontal shield of that AT gun actually manages to deflect most of the damage, and they make it out alive at 5 men. Conscripts trying as best they can against the Panzer Grenadiers. Panzer Grenadiers continue to maul them. Molotov lands right behind them, and the conscripts do end up retreating. So you can see the amazing power of a Panzer Grenadier squad. Single Panzer Grenadier squad does 11 kills in its first engagement and pushes away all the infantry squads for Logos out of the field, including eliminating one. Logos getting himself his doctrine, and that is the Soviet Shock Army. Once again, like I mentioned on previous game, it is something that you have to be very careful with if you get the 120mm mortar, because shock troops and PPSHs on conscripts, you tend to want to rush the enemy infantry and get right on top of them to do the most damage that you can with your SMGs. That, in return, means that your mortars are going to be firing at the infantry while you're rushing, and there's a very high chance that your infantry is going to be positioned exactly where the mortar shot is going to land. So, yeah, one thing to keep in mind. You got to be very careful with your unit movement. So, PPSH is getting equipped on all 3 conscript squads. No shock troops yet because it doesn't have enough manpower. Shock troops themselves are 440 manpower, so it's a very heavy manpower investment. You don't want to lose them. And the Panzer Grenadiers continue to stay on the field at 2 men. There is a half-track on the field, but it's currently down south. It did get its flamethrower upgrade, so it's going to be much more formidable now. And we see the Grenadier squad pushing forward, trying to get that MG42. It looks like, but that would not be the optimal choice. Conscripts getting flamed by the flamethrower half-track, down to 3 men. They do manage to force the retreat on that Grenadier squad. And the conscripts Ura to try to get themselves, I don't know where actually. They should stop. They do throw an 18-8 on the half-track. The AT gun is turning around, trying to get a shot at the half-track. Actually gets a horrible angle, and the half-track continues to circle straight them. MG42 does get picked up by Logos over here. It's going to set up against the half-track and should actually be able to do enough damage to take it out with the combined arms of the conscript. Destroys the engine, and down goes the half-track. So, small mercies there for Logos. He did lose the men on his AT gun, but manages to recrew it instantly and continues to push it forward. Not exactly sure why. There's a second MG42 there for Logos to take if he wanted to. However, Tuty did get himself tier 3 now and is building himself a flak panzer. I have to applaud Tuty for that maneuver. It might not pan out, which again is why a lot of people don't do it, but you know, I want to see that a little bit more. I want to see more bold moves like going for the flak panzer. However, it'll probably not pan out as best as it could because Logos already has himself tier 3 and is getting a T-34, so that T-34 will be able to counter that flak panzer quite easily. And there's also the AT gun on the field that flak panzer can't kill quite easily as well, but it is capable of doing damage to it as well as it approaches. So nice rifle lane going down right in the middle of both squads. Actually takes out the mortar squad, forcing one man to retreat as a coward. And the AT gun does pack up and try to move back, but with the LMG they just finish it off. So both support weapons now down for Tuty. He is capable of recrewing them. More conscripts pushing up with their PPSHs, so he should be able to force that. The flak panzer is now on the field. T-34 is as well on the field, but not in the center of the map just yet. And the flak panzer will be able to do some good damage as it approaches. Conscripts out in the open, getting shot by the flak panzer. Well, actually, the flak panzer, there he goes. Finally turns its gun against the conscript. The conscript will throw a Molotov at the pack gun, probably. Yep. Pack on taking a Molotov to the face. The conscripts now veteran C2 getting themselves that armor bonus, or, well, reduce, improve durability. They do end up retreating, will take some damage, but will be fine. The T-34 is now on the field right behind that Flak Panzer. The Flak Panzer is in a very tough position. The Pack gun got taken out for Tuty, so no support for the Flak Panzer. So very nice move there for Logos. The gamble did not pay off for Tuty. Tuty will lose his Flak Panzer. Flak Panzer trying to circle, well, not circle straight, but circle around the church, trying to get, you know, out of the sight range of that T-34. But it is behind enemy lines. No escape for it. The T-34 continues to chase, and down goes the Flak Panzer. So yeah, I mean, here you can see why people decide to always go, most of the time, go for the safe bet of the Panzer IV, because it can very easily, you know, backfire. But it was a very nice move by Logos by sending over here and taking out the Pack gun. Unfortunately, Tuty did not manage his Pack gun and, you know, back it off to at least be able to defend his Flak Panzer. So, yeah, a little bit of a miss micro there by Tuty, and an advantage, you know, that Logo took very effectively. Rifle nade going down on this conscript squad, down to 2 men, very low in health, down to 1 man on the retreat. Can he make it out alive? He is very far away, so yeah, he'll make it out just fine. So we have an MG42 over here, we have a mortar over here, and an AT gun lying all over the place. Logos in the optimal position to be able to take those for himself. We'll see if that comes into play. Half-track moving around the right-hand side. Panzer Shrek's already equipped on the Panzer Grenadiers, so they'll be able to deal with that T-34 quite effectively. Gonna force him to retreat, unless the T-34 gets a nice shot, you know, a lucky shot, and kills a lot of them, you know, 2 shots maybe. But it is highly unlikely that will happen. Conscripts pushing forward. These conscripts are vanilla conscripts, replacing lost squads, getting themselves PPSHs. So they will do some damage, but they are vanilla conscripts, so they are going to fall in the face of these Panzer Grenadiers. Even with their Panzer Shrek, the Panzer Grenadiers doing way more damage than the conscripts can ever hope to do. And they actually nailed 2 of the conscripts with each Panzer Shrek shot, forcing them to retreat as 2 men. Oh, very nice volley there. Actually executes another conscript, down to 1 man on the retreat. Very lucky to be alive. T-34 moves down south. May have been hunting the half-track, but the half-track stays in the center. Pioneers recruiting that MG42, gonna get reinforced. And there is a mortar and an AT gun there for Tuty to pick up. So if he wants to, he could do that. The Pack gun got taken by Logos. So Logos has a Pack gun, but he lost his AT gun, which is currently on the field. We see the MG42 and conscripts pushing onto the field as a whole. MG42 opening up on the stolen MG42, getting the suppression. These conscripts are suppressed. Conscripts falling right on top of the MG42. Gonna throw a Molotov? No. The half-track did get taken out, but got replaced. Bundle nade going down on these conscripts, looks like. Might have actually done a lot of damage. Conscript squad down to 1 man on the retreat. The MG42 focuses on it, but only throws these small bursts before it has to reload, and that conscript squad barely makes it out alive. Second T-34 on the field for Logos. He needs to send that out onto the field right now, and he also needs to turn the butt of this T-34 in the other direction, make use of his hull machine gun, and not, you know, risk getting shot in the rear by those Panzer IVs. I mean, by those Panzer Shreks. Panzer IV on the field for Tuty, so that is going to help him out quite a bit with the combination of the Panzer Shreks and the Panzer IV. He could actually win the fight against those 2 T-34s, so we shall see what happens. Oh, very nice shot there by that T-34. Nails 3 of those Panzer Grenadiers. Tuty keeps his cool, however. Ghost picks up his Panzer Shrek that he dropped, and is probably going to get reinforced by that half-track right now. Left-hand side on the cutoff point, Grenadiers taking that point, getting engaged by the T-34, second T-34 that would be, and conscripts also with veteran C2. Panzer IV moves up to the edge of the map, is going to take some shots at conscripts as they move. The conscripts might want to pick up that 18-8 to take some shots, but they do get themselves suppressed. Conscripts continue to push, going for a little bit of a flank on the MG42. The MG42 is not in an angle to defend it. And very nice shot here by, what was it, the stolen Pack? Yeah, stolen Pack actually taking some nasty shots at the Panzer IV, bringing it down to about 25% health. Conscripts push forward onto the Grents, and the Panzer Grents taking a lot of damage, although they did throw a Molotov, but it didn't really pan out. And the T-34 is just sitting in front of the enemy, taking some shots. Panzer IV, though, does manage to make it out alive, stays there on the field, and the half-track is there for reinforcement, so it's going to start repairing as soon as it can. Back at base, Tuty has a Grenadier squad that did end up having to retreat, and the pack gun making itself known. There's still that AT gun there that could get picked up. The mortar got recruit for Logos, so he recovered his own mortar, getting it back on the field. That'll help him out a lot. Set it up around here or back here and, you know, start lobbing. Even through here, I mean, it's still in range of this area of the map still, so not bad. But if he can get that AT gun, which he is getting right now, very nice. That is actually going to give him... No, actually he's not. Okay, well, if he gets that AT gun, that's going to give him too much anti-tank capabilities for Tuty to deal with. So Conscripts push forward, getting barraged by the Panzer IV and the Panzer Grenadiers. The Panzer Grenadiers not doing a lot. Panzer IV as well, takes another shot. The Conscripts will continue to capture territory. T-34 is fully repaired, and mortar does cross the river and start setting up. We see Conscripts getting pinned down by the MG42, and Tuty just backing off with all his forces. Up north, we see a Vet-3 Grand Squad being used to cap. Not exactly sure I agree with that. Want to keep it in the fight as much as you can. Maybe get another Pio squad and move it over there, but, well, we'll see. Conscripts over here on the left-hand side, now down to 2 men, will get cleared out. Down to 1 man on the retreat. Can he make it out alive? He's going to get a Panzer Trek. Nope, actually makes it out alive. Very lucky. Conscripts pushing through the center. Mortar going to town, taking some shots at whatever it can, but not actually nailing anything. Mortar has actually not gotten any kills so far in this game, apparently. Sorry, never mind, that's stupid of me. They got killed off and recruit just yet, so... The brand new Mortar that got recruit hasn't actually killed anything. MG42 pinning down these conscripts out in the open. Panzer IV trying to kill them and get some shots off, but not doing much. The Mortar is moving around, needs to set up in a okay angle. I mean, behind this house would be an okay position to be in. Fight forward, but, you know, in an okay position. T-34 is pushing on the left-hand side, trying to get a flank on all the forces. The Panzer IV decides to back off, not fully repaired just yet. The half-track getting shot by the T-34s. No, actually got shot by an AT gun. The pack gun. Conscripts continue to push forward, finally getting clear of that MG42. The Conscripts will... Oh! Looks like the mortar might have actually nailed them with its own shots.
What do you need?
Yeah, 3 kills from the friendly mortar there. Quite unfortunate. T-34 is taking some shots at the Panzer IV. One of them is exposing its rear armor, which it shouldn't be doing. There it goes, turns around. More shots landing on that Panzer IV. A anti-tank nade landing on that Panzer IV. Out of control. And there it goes. So very nice victory there for Logos. He now has the armor advantage in the game. Grenadiers can only Faust them. And he actually should be fine with that if he can get his combat engineers here to start repairing, even though he has them on the right-hand side. The T-34s can take quite a bit of punishment against those Grenadier squads and, you know, push them off. I guess I never mentioned, Tuty, for his part, got himself the Assault Support Doctrine, which means he should be able to get himself a Tiger. He doesn't have enough resources for it right now, but it looks like that is what he's waiting for because he has a lot of manpower, floating 700 manpower right now, almost 800. Not what you want to be doing, but I think he is waiting for the tank, but no. He realizes, you know what, these tanks are all on top of me and I need something to stop them, so I'm going to get myself another Panzer IV. Personally, I would suggest he gets the Panzer IV and a pack gun to at least be able to set up a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, he has 500 manpower, which he's not currently spending, which you could use in that. So T-34's in the center, just moving around, gleefully killing stuff everywhere they can. Combat engineers do finally move back into the center, probably start effecting repairs on that T-34 that they got Fausted. And this T-34 will get Fausted as well, but it does end up taking out that half-track. So Tuty suffering more losses all around. However, heavy engine damage gets critted on this T-34 with Panzerschreck equipped Panzer Grenadiers now at Veterancy 2, giving them increased armor. That T-34 is going to go down. It needs to get defended by conscripts quickly. There is nothing nearby to defend it but that vanilla conscript squad, which is trying as hard as it can to deal with these Panzer Grenadiers. Panzer Grenadiers are at about half health. Molotov goes down on the Panzer Grenadiers. There goes another Panzerschreck volley. Destroys the engine, bringing it down to a snail's pace. And one more shot should finish it off. So Logos actually suffering a unfortunate loss there. So this is a quick turnaround for Tuty. He has his Panzer IV on the field right now, so if he actually goes for it right now, well, no, actually that would be a stupid move. AT gun here hasn't gotten a recruit, but there is a Pagon on the field. So even with that damage engine, that Panzer IV would probably lose the fight because the T-34 is supported by the Pack gun. Panzer IV doesn't even try to push forward. He is just pushing forward with the units that he has. Maximum machine gun getting produced for Logos. Interesting choice. He did have a MG42 that got stolen at some point, but I guess he lost that. There is MG42 jumping into the house. Conscript pushing forward, probably gonna throw. High L2 strafing run going down, getting some damage in that house. MG42 down to one man, doesn't actually retreat. It sets up in a very awkward angle. Conscripts, however, are not able to shoot it. The MG42 realizes its mistake, packs up, and retreats instantly. Panzer IV hits the field, gonna start shooting at these conscripts and the MG40, the Maxim machine gun. T-34 in the center of the map. We have a second T-34 that got produced, but is not rallied into the center of the map, so it's back at base. A little bit of an unfortunate setup there for Logos. Hopefully he realizes that and sends it in. In this situation, he has a chance to actually get another quick kill on a Panzer IV and not let Tuty accumulate tanks. So we'll see if that comes into play. Whole machine gun actually ends up shooting down the airplane, and the airplane ends up crashing into Tuty's base, doing some damage to his bunker and his tier 1. Didn't actually, you know, kill anything, but very close to. I mean, his units were right there and it landed right next to it. So, AT gun finally gets recruit for Logos, and he should consider probably merging it. There's the MG42 over here. They could also get recaptured. Pioneers over on the southern fuel, trying to cap that point, getting harassed by that T-34. T-34 should be able to finish them off. Nice shot there. The machine gun, or coaxial machine gun, taking some shots, down to one man on the retreat, and there goes the Pioneer. So risky move there by Tuty, didn't pan out, and he lost his Pio. So he no longer has any way of repairing his vehicles. He needs to call in more Pios. Shock troops getting called in for Logos, just bolstering his infantry units, his infantry forces, and we have the point. Those are actually in a decent position to do a lot in the map. There is not that many infantry units for Logos, certainly for Tuty. So Panzer IV moves down here. The Panzer Shrek equipped Panzer Grenadiers jump into the house, trying to get some vision. We see the mortar taking some shots at whatever it can. Conscripts push forward and start to capture that strategic point, cutting it off. And the Panzer IV moves up to maybe get a flank. I'm not exactly sure what it's doing. Taking some shots at the mortar. The AT gun actually turns around and takes a shot at the Panzer IV, nailing it in the front armor, doing about 25% damage. T-34s set up in the center of the map. There's a Vet 2 T-34. Vet 2, it increases the weapon damage and reduces the damage it takes. So this is an Ace T-34. It's gonna get shot by those Panzer Grenadiers, so it needs to be a little bit careful. Gonna get shot in the rear, but with the veterancy armor, it, well, doesn't take that much damage. Shock troops moving in, gonna run into those Panzer Grenadiers, could potentially throw a nade into the house, but they're gonna get into the house. Nice Shrek by those Panzer Grenadiers, actually nails one of those shock troops. Nade goes into the house. It looks like it actually ended up killing one of the guys as it was exiting, and the Panzer Grenadiers do end up having to retreat. Down to one man on the retreat, but it is a veterancy 3 squad, so it means it has more durability and makes it out alive just fine. Does Tuty actually have a bunker? He does not have a med bunker, which I think is hurting him too much at this point. Panzer Grenadiers pushing forward, and we now see Logos down to 181 points. So Tuty did a fairly good job at keeping him out of the game for a while, but Tuty turning it around, now triple capping, Logos turning it around on Tuty, capping him, triple capping him, and Tuty is now down to 285 points. Still 100 points off, and, you know, in the victory, but he is in a very tough spot. I mean, you can just tell right here, look at all the infantry that Logos has, plus the armor, and look at what Tuty has. So, I mean, he is getting himself a second Panzer IV, which could work out for him, but he needs a very nice maneuver, like all his infantry and units moving at the same time potentially would be really the only thing. You know, maybe sending all his infantry to the front, right in front of these guns, distracting and sending the tanks through the side for a flank, trying to get some quick kills on the T-34s, you know. Something in that manner could potentially work out, but other than that, I don't really see Tuty coming back from this. He would probably have to get the Tiger, and he's way off to get the Tiger. I mean, he doesn't have the fuel or the fuel income to get it in a long time, and with this bleed, it's, you know, not gonna take long before he dies. So Conscript Squad does get executed over here on the right-hand side. It had jumped into the house to try to stay, you know, on there and be annoying to the Panzer Grenadiers, but I suppose a combination of bundle nades and the fact that a Panzer IV moves over to that side takes out that Conscript Squad, so a little bit of a loss there for Logos, but he's fine. It was the vanilla Conscript Squad essentially. He has 2 Vet 3 Conscript Squads on the field, so he must be feeling pretty comfortable in that sense. Northern side of the map, Grenadier Squad with Vet 3 moving along just to capture territory. Again, this situation, not entirely sure I agree with that decision. He needs to have his veteran units supporting his tanks right now and potentially just build himself a Pio squad and send it over to cap on the edges. T-34s move over to the right-hand side. They're now getting engaged by both Panzer IV, so this is what Tuty actually needed. He needs to continue to push forward and get a kill on the T-34s. Damages the engine on one of the T-34s, so that T-34 will go down. We see a Sturmovik attack going down by Logos, but that's not going to do... Oh, well, it actually does do a lot of damage. Wow, look at that damage go down. Never mind, that ripped those Panzer IVs to shreds. Thankfully for the Panzer IVs, however, well, it is only shock troops that are pushing forward, so they will be fine. Tuty needs to build himself 2 Pio squads ASAP, or AFAP, as fast as possible. And to be able to repair these tanks quickly, otherwise he's going to lose whatever advantage he gained right now. Sturmovik attack, brutalizing that Panzer Grenadier squad, so Tuty losing his veteran C3. His veteran C3 Panzer Grenadiers with Panzer Shreks, and the shock troops actually ended up picking up that Panzer Shrek. So now they're actually a threat. Before, they weren't really any threat to vehicles because, well, they can't really do much. But now, with that Panzer Shrek, they are quite brutal. And more barrages going down in the area, not actually hitting anything because there's nothing to hit. And, yeah. Tuty needs to build himself a second, there we go, second Pio squad to get these repairs very quickly. He did kill one of those T-34s, but the T-34 with veteran C2 is still the one in the map. But Logos is now in a commanding position as far as map and fuel goes, so he is getting himself 2 additional T-34s. Nice mortar shot landing right in those Panzer Grenadiers. Where is the mortar? There it is. 8 kills so far, 3 friendlies. Mortar actually on point right now with those shots. AT gun does get cleared out by the Panzer Grenadiers, and T-34 moves up, gets a shot off. And the half-track is there on the field just to reinforce on the fly, so very nice. Very nice decision there by Logos, I approve of that. Gets himself the, what do you call it, the quad gun on that. That would actually be incredible, but he doesn't have the munitions for that. And he probably wants to save it to, you know, get more Sturmovik runs, which was a clutch play right there, because if he hadn't done that, those 2 Panzer IVs could have potentially chased down the other T-34 and taken it out. I mean, it is possible that that T-34 could have taken out one of the Panzer IVs because it has the veteran C2, but it is unlikely that that would have happened. So we hear an engagement up north, and that's Vet 3 against Vet 3, so it's going to take a while. LMG against PPSHs. The PPSHs seem to be winning this fight, although 3-2, so actually no, the LMG is doing way more damage. Look at that damage go down. These conscripts need to retreat, but we see 2 T-34s moving up to the north, the brand new 2 T-34s. So those Grants get the hell out of Dodge right there. Mortar moving up to the north, sets up, but, well, doesn't have anything to shoot at anymore. And the T-34s are now going to dominate the north. Might actually get shot by the mortar. No, mortar shot tosses it over there, so that's fine. T-34 in the center, still exposing his rear armor. Not something you want to do, but not really any problem right now for Tuty, considering the Panzer IVs are back at base. But they are both finally repaired, and they're going to head into the center. Are they actually going... Well, they are following the Panzer Grenadiers, so this might be the push that he needed. He doesn't have anything else to support them with. He does notice that there is a pack gun set up there that's taking some shots at the Panzer Grenadiers. These Panzer Grenadiers pop their Panzer Strikes. They're going to jump into the house, being able to take shots at whatever they want. There's 3 T-34s in the center of the map, plus a half-track for them to shoot at. There it goes. Nice volley goes down on one of the T-34s, but the T-34 retaliates, collapsing the house, and that is not what Tuty wanted to happen. And yeah, I don't think he can actually do anything at this point. Panzer Force. This Panzer IV runs into the house and collapses it. Panzer IV moves in by its own against all 3 T-34s. Getting behind the pack gun, but not really going to matter much. T-34s barrage that Panzer IV. Panzer IV manages to actually take out one of the T-34s. Other 2 T-34s still on the field against that Ben 1 Panzer IV. Panzer IV potentially capable of doing some good damage here, but I don't think that's going to happen. The T-34 actually tries to go for a ram, but gets caught in the terrain. Should be able to go for another ram right now if it wants to, get the rear armor. But with an 18-8 going off and getting shot in the rear armor, plus going up against a better T2 T-34, this Panzer IV is now officially toast. Does actually manage to do some very good damage to that T-34, destroying the main gun, but doesn't finish him off. And down to 75 points for Tuty. Logos manages to pull it off, and there is nothing on the field left for Tuty. He has a veteran T2 Grenadier squad that was somewhere around there. Where was it anyways? Oh, here it is, coming up. And his Pioneers. So yeah, that's it. So yeah, one last ditch effort there by Tuty. It wasn't actually handled as well, but it was a little bit unfortunate that he lost that Panzer Grenadier squad. It was the case considering how low health that building was. It was very risky. But I can understand why he did it. I mean, it was an okay choice, but it didn't pan out. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the game. If you have any positive or negative remarks, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you have any replays you want to send me, go ahead and send them to the email that I will put in the description. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time.